Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, hello everyone, and good afternoon. We're just giving you a kind of a 5-minute heads up that we're going to be starting here in about 5 minutes, so that you guys can see my web camera. Maybe I can't see it. I don't know, but anyway, we'll be about just starting off in about 5 minutes to get more people to get on here because the scheduled time was 4 o'clock. From there, we will talk more about what you can expect, and so all right, we look forward to talking to you. We'll see you then. All right, everyone. By my watch here, it is 4 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to be talking about this winter event that we're going to get. It's been a very interesting December already. We've had that started the month with some pretty decent snow, and we'll have more on the way. In fact, it's going to make its way in a couple of rounds. I'm Brian Newdorf. I'm one of the forecasters here at the National Weather Service office in Louisville. What you're going to see, I'll stop distracting you and turn my camera off. What we have here, we figured we would lead with the most important question that everybody seems to ask, and that is you have specific location questions. Usually it is, when's it going to start? How much are we going to get? What's the duration? Well, we've got something for you. You can use your phone if you're not using it right now for this and click the QR code, or we did send out the graphics, that link right there. It is called Forecast Points, and I will quickly show you what this is as I bring over here, as I show you these forecast points, and you'll see this next graphic. If you go to that page, and you can see my GoToMeeting, I will move that out of the way. You will see a page that looks like this. All you have to do is either go where it says Search Map, which is right next to the points, or you can click somewhere here on this wonderful map if you know where you are. And then we've picked near Louisville, so I'll click it again. And then what you will find, you'll see this kind of thing loading. I'm giving it a moment. And what it will do is it will build for you, and you'll get a lot of really great information. And especially what's great about this for you, especially if you're looking for specific data, and I'll go back here because it seemed to want to bounce around on me. We can give you the forecast over the next few days if you've ever had that cold advisories for Minnesota. So disregard that. And you know what? Maybe we will get back to this as I let this load, because your time is very, very valuable. So let's continue on, and I'll just get ourselves back over to our slides. But what we're going to see here, and again, if you need some more information on that, so let's go on to the next slide. And what we're going to see is we now have upgraded that winter weather advisory earlier this afternoon to a winter storm warning. That includes a good portions of southern Indiana, and then really like that corridor, that triad, if you will, of 75, 71, and I-64 corridor, even going all the way over to I-65, and then even some points westward as you make your way from, say, over towards Washington and over towards Orange counties and so on. You've got Clark and Floyd. So that is what we're going to have. And these are all from 7 o'clock tonight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is the first in a series of systems that are going to work their way through here. Let's just highlight what we're talking about. The winter storm warning could see, I think, a pretty strong 3 to 5 inches of snow with, we're not going to rule out potential of some locations overachieving and getting close to 6 inches in some of those areas. Then most of those in the shaded kind of bluish purple will get about 1 to 4 in that winter weather advisory. Jefferson County is probably going to be on the higher end of that winter weather advisory. I wouldn't be surprised if a few locations, it could range from southern Jefferson County sees that 1 to 2 with some higher amounts right along the border. But the key thing to remember when this comes in is we're going to have a moderate to heavy snowfall, especially in some of the higher rates too. It's possible as we go this evening and overnight. Initially, it might come in as a little bit of sleet mixed in. We will be above freezing. But then as colder air comes in, we will see some stronger bands set up in that area where the pink, where the winter storm warning is. So the main impacts are going to be snow-covered roads that will result in hazardous driving conditions, especially towards the Friday morning commute. So since we're talking about snow amounts, our timing, here's our timing slide for you. And again, all times here are in Eastern Standard Time. And you can see from Salem right along the I-65 corridor, probably in that 6 to 8 window. Then from 8 to 10, it starts to work its way more off towards the east, just around maybe the eastern part of Jefferson County to Frankfort to Lexington, Richmond. And then as you make your way farther on off towards the east in some of those areas, then it starts to make its way into eastern Kentucky. So we want to highlight the area in red. We feel pretty confident about that axis of higher amounts, kind of, and I told you, surrounded by most of the interstates there into the northern part of north central Kentucky into southern Indiana. So it's that area that's highlighted in red where you might get a pretty steep cutoff in snow amounts. What are we talking about? It is possible that if you are in Hardin County, that parts of southern Hardin County only sees a coating where 2 to 3 inches may be possible as you work, or at least 2 inches or so are possible as you work your way farther north. Similar in places like Nelson and over towards LaRue and Marion. So just keep that in mind. The farther south you go, the cutoff will be pretty steep over a short distance. That's why we wanted to highlight that particular area. So again, what has changed? We added the winter storm warning. Amounts went up, and we had a little bit more confidence of the potential impacts from that. Just from the winter storm severity index, it is yellow right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this maybe especially in that area towards Madison, Louisville, parts of Louisville, up towards Frankfort and Lexington. Maybe you start to see moderate pop in there because of that, just a little bit of a slowdown in the morning, especially for that morning commute. And then we have our attention to the next event. So once we're all done, when will all of this come to an end? Probably going to come to an end a little bit after the drive. That's why it was going to about 10 a.m. And then after that, things begin to calm down. So now we turn our attention beyond that, going into the next system that is going to be on Saturday late into Sunday morning. So that's when this kind of arrives. It takes a very, very similar path to what we are seeing, these kind of clipper systems that are working their way out of the Dakotas, the upper Midwest, and then into central Indiana. So current forecast, and then keep in mind this could change, but the current forecast has remained steady of 1 to 3 additional snow, some higher amounts, especially as you go north like this of I-64. And again, some travel impacts late during the overnight on Saturday, because we are at this point less than 2 weeks from Christmas. And then that takes us into Sunday morning, and a very similar severe winter storm severity index with minor impacts, but some of that could change. Then once this is done, the one thing we're going to watch during the day Sunday, our temperatures are going to get very cold. In fact, some of the coldest air we've seen so far this season. And then this is where, you might want to start messaging out to some of your people in your different counties to start checking their pipes, checking different things for that. But again, as it departs, we're going to see that colder air really advect and move in here behind that system. Highs during the day on Sunday will be in the teens. You factor in some breezy conditions, anywhere from 15 to 25 mile an hour. You're going to have single digits to maybe even low teens, or even colder with temperatures there. You're going to have wind chill values near or below zero, especially during the day on Sunday, and then heading into Monday morning. Winds will relax a bit, and then Monday morning lows are potentially in the single digits to the sub-zeros, with wind chills once again around zero on the day Monday. It does bounce back, but you can see we are keeping ourselves fairly busy. But again, you've probably seen this while driving around. Hey, if you can, make sure that car cleans off. I know myself, I was behind a semi on my way in here, and I had sheets of ice that I had to be mindful of coming in here. So please. And then also, prepare for extreme cold. And if you're an EM and you put out something on Facebook, again, the pipes are very important to dress warm. People may not think about this as they're going about their day. They may think, oh, I'm just going to go to the grocery store and it's about 10 minutes out. But then their car breaks down. Have a coat in the car. It's helpful. Full tank of gas, those kind of things. And just watch your pets. So those are some of the things that we've got going on. And I'm going to see if that has loaded back up on those forecast points. They have. So I'm going to switch this over. You're going to see my thing here just a bit so I can share with you my screen. I got to find that. There we are. Our warning coordination meteorologist, Michael Kochasik, is here with us, so I want to appreciate him. And of course, if you have any more questions, but this is what I want to share with you. Hopefully you guys can see that on your screen. Yeah. So if you go to forecast points and you type in your location, it says search the map. You can also click on it. I want to highlight this because this is one of the most popular questions we get. And that is, when's it going to hit my house? When's it going to start? And what this populates with, as soon as we hit enter and send out everything to the world from our system here, this goes and populates. So you can see there for Louisville, it shows you that winter weather advisory. It shows you the next couple of days, the next 7 days right there. And then the key thing, here you go, hour by hour. You can slide this across. You can see the time, 7 to 8 o'clock. It shows that snow starting. It shows you the probability. You can even get a 6-hour window of how much snow is expected to fall in that area. It looks like a little over 2. You want something even more? It goes hourly, and I'm going to kind of slide this down. I hope it is showing. There we go. So if you can see here, snowfall in inches, you can see the total over a period of time, but it also gives you like a 3-hour window of how much snow is expected in those time frames. So this is very good for planning. If you want to get to something, a first look, that is one thing, but we still, as always welcome all and any phone calls that you might possibly have. So, but this is just a resource for you to access fairly quickly. So, Mike, I'm going to try to pull up some of these questions, and I'm going to bring my screen back. I see it has I got to pull it out. Do you have any questions that you can help ask real quick? I'm trying to, yeah, there we are. I can pop it out. All right. All right. So we have a couple ones. The point forecast, what's that? Oh, show. All right. Those have already been answered, but maybe some people have already had those. So I'm just going to, Mike's answered those, but Kevin Russell did ask, point forecast link you provided, very helpful. You're welcome. Okay. Wind chills prediction. So again, those wind chills are going to be 6 a.m. We're probably looking at, again, maybe not as cold as Sunday morning, but still near zero, single digits is possible. Is the IDSS different data than the, shouldn't be. The one bar, the IDSS, I mean, they're going to be very more site specific. Keep in mind when we put out our information that we point out to, sometimes there might be some rounding issues. When you see our DSS packets, we're covering, 49 counties in central Kentucky, 10 counties in southern Indiana. Mike, you have something?
Yeah, can you go to slide 1, please?
Yes, I can do that.
Show that QR code. A lot of folks are asking for the QR code.
Yep, we can do that. I'll just pull that back up. Wasn't sure of everybody, and we will bring that right there. We go. So there we are, the QR code. I will not hide it. I will move my questions out of the way so you can see it. All right, thanks, Chris. Seeing all the different things there, the QR code. Yep, it's back up and going. Okay. Oh, I need to share my screen. I apologize. All right, there we go. It's just waiting. There it is. All right, it's on your screen. And again, if you don't have it, it's pretty easy. If you type in forecast points, weather.gov/forecast points, you can get that hour by hour. I use it. In fact, I share it with my family all the time when they ask me questions. Even my mom who lives in Virginia, I can access the local offices there and share that information as well. Not an ice storm. No, we are not looking at any ice. We might get a little bit of onset of sleet mixed in with the snow that we get through here, but it's moving fairly quickly. Snow rates, somebody asked earlier, it's close to 10 to 1 early on. It's going to be a little higher. And definitely the one thing we need to watch going into Sunday with that snow is it's going to be a fluffier snow because we've got really cold air coming in. So it won't take much when that system works its way through. Oh, the total snow options on the forecast points is crossed out. You know what? As far as individual aspects go, try to refresh. We'll be able to walk you through some of those things. And if they are X'd out, one of the things you do, there are just small things you can, those little boxes where it says snowfall or total snowfall, just click on those boxes. And all you have to do is click on them and those can turn them on and toggle them on and off. All you have to do is hit those boxes right above there. Same with the precipitation above. Just click on them and they toggle them on and off. So that's all you have to do. As we look here at some of the forecast, that was Darren Smith. So thank you so much for that. Gary, yeah, again, not an ice storm. And then the QR code, again, Troy and Chris. Yep, the link is there. Are there any additional questions? If not, we can keep things moving so we don't waste your time. But again, so just to want to follow up, yeah, that was a good point. We had this discussion, and because of the fact that the next event takes place late Saturday into Sunday, we very low traffic, low volume type of a day. I mean, unless anything major happens, unless we are looking at another significant event where we're looking at winter storm warning potential, at this point, there is no scheduled briefing for tomorrow unless something drastically changes. But at this point, we don't think it's going to. We are just expecting more of that advisory level event. But again, the higher light things, once we get beyond this snow for tonight, where we're looking at anywhere from that 3 to 5 solidly amounts of snow in the warning with the isolated location getting upwards of 6. to the winter weather advisory 1 to 4. We get a break, and then it just turns cold with another kind of an inconvenient potential, so slightly moderate hazardous event Saturday night into Sunday, and then the cold air, but trying to keep this as advertised as possible. But again, at this time, not likely to have a call for tomorrow since it is going to be on Friday. What are you anticipating? Okay, again, best I can try to go back to some of those. Again, we're generally looking at a 1 to 3 inch range. You can see there it's kind of under an inch, but again, best way to go do it is the forecast point link. So Lillian is asking, are we able to publish? I mean, if you want to share it and screen it and share that out with people or share that link, yes, you can share that. It's open to the public. We know a lot of people different who use it. So we appreciate everybody who is helping us out, and thank you guys so much. Again, so if you need to sign up for webinars and conference calls, whoever sent that to you or invited you here, I'd say the best way is to maybe
if you registered for this call,
yeah,
Sharon, we can get your email address, or if you want to send us your email address here before we hang up, we can get you at it.
Yeah, if you want to just real quick put it in there, we will grab it, Sharon, for that. Any chance that tonight's precipitation moves north or south? You know, like I said, highlighted. There's always, it's really sometimes, especially when we're talking about snow, as we saw with the last event, is where do we see the band? So I'm just going to come back here to this last graphic for the snowfall as we highlighted that area to the south, because we do expect there to be a pretty decent cutoff to the south. The trend has been generally pretty consistent at this point. There's always that possibility, but it's probably not going to move huge amounts. But it's really going to come down to where does that band set up. But we're feeling pretty good. You can see there that it sets up mostly to the north where we have that winter storm warning. So thank you so much for that, Doug. Extended. Are you talking, Grant, I'm guessing you are. You asking, is it going to be extended in coverage farther south? I think at this time, no. With the conversations that we've had with our neighbors, and again, because of that dramatic cutoff, we're not real confident. Sharon did, by the way, put her email. Okay, Mike's got it. So, and again, some other people are putting their email addresses there. So we truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. At this point, we appreciate you all for getting on here. It is now 4:17, so we've got about 15 minutes on this conference call. We want to appreciate all of you as well. So people are putting their, we'll get those before we're all done. So thank you guys so much. And other than that, if anything changes, look for our briefing slides. You can find those on our website. That link I gave you, the forecast points updates as soon as we update any amounts, and those are very specific for your location, and it's a great way to navigate. All right, with that in mind, I want to thank you all for joining in and being here with us. Again, unless anything majorly changes, we don't plan on doing anything else at this time. So with that, I am going to find where I turn this off. And but I want to thank everybody. So thank you guys so much, and be safe out there.